Yo, all right, guys. This is going to be my trade recap for this morning, the 30th of March, 2026. So just going to dive straight into my trade from this morning. Um, so let's take a look at the weekly and just kind of understand some key points. So I have key levels at 63.61 as support on the weekly time frame, and then there is new resistance. I think on the daily at 64.50. Uh, yeah. So there's new resistance 6450. So let's kind of zoom in a little bit in the hourly time frame. Um, Let me get this indicator on. So what we can see here, I do use one indicator, and it literally just charts out previous day high, low, and the daily open, London high, open and low, and then Asia high, open and low. Also the weekly high and the weekly low from last week. So um, that helps me and it saves me a lot of time in the morning. So 15-minute time frame here. What time? So pretty much since last night, there's been a just massive up move here on ES. So that was one thing I was just gonna kind of keep track of. So actually, let's see, London opened about right here on this 15-minute candle right here. So since here, this is everything that London has done. And then leading into pre-market, there is still a very obvious uptrend that is taking place here. So zoom into the 5-minute. One thing that I wanted to be extremely careful about was longing with resistance levels, especially with daily resistance levels. I didn't really feel comfortable longing, but if the market was gonna be strong today, then I would have needed to see probably some key breaking points. One of them probably being at this pre-market high. So London high was right above here, but at open, the market just came up, swept out this internal high on ES, and then just immediately started displacing to the downside. So I really wasn't gonna fight that, especially after seeing this first 5-minute candle right here. Like, let me zoom in. You guys can see 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, first 5-minute candle open. We come up, sweep out these highs, leave a little bit of top wick on the top of this candle, and then just immediately start displacing below key intraday support levels, which now turn resistance levels. So once I saw this candle right here, I actually, which I missed this trade. Luckily, I got another one, but let me mark this out for you real quick. So I actually could have taken this entry right here, and literally all this entry would have been is super simple. This is literally just a conviction play. What happened at market open? We manipulated higher on ES, 5-minute time frame, displaced lower off of that sweep. So what's likely to happen after that off of this very obvious bearish displacing candle to the downside, breaking pre-market structure to the downside? ES is probably going to continue going to the downside. So I was going to say short, but it's probably going to continue going on the downside. So I ended up missing this entry right here, which this would have been an absolute banger and monster of a trade. But anyways, I marked out this next key level of support from pre-market trading. Actually, this was from London, so this was another key level that I wanted to look at for today. But once I saw the 5-minute starting to break through that and have really big selling pressure come through that, I went ahead and took an entry in the 5-minute time frame. I was running a 5-point stop, 20 ticks on MES. I trade 10 micro contracts for 1 mini. So I took an entry right here. You guys can see this is my exact entry point. Stop loss was just at 5 points, and then I was full TP was going to be at London low. But one thing I was watching that I wanted to keep, or not keep, but be aware of was I was wanting to be aware of where NQ was at during this whole move, because I had a feeling once ES hit the Asia Open and London, or sorry, not the Asia Open, the Asia High and then the London Open, um, ES started to reject off that. So I went ahead and actually just peeked at where NQ was at, and NQ is already below this low right here. So once I started to see ES come back down a little bit and then start to reject off there, I went ahead and actually just closed my position, um, which, let's see, just from getting that like 7.25 points, I got $343.50. And then my margin for my account is $1,661.05. So, yeah, full TP did end up getting hit, unfortunately. I do think one thing I need to work on going forward is just trusting my price targets. Because yeah, I did miss out on a lot of profit. Like, yeah, so 7.25 points, 29 ticks. I missed out on almost an additional 40 ticks right there, almost. So that potentially could have been like a $700 day, $800 day, depending on if I would have held towards full TP. But I'm satisfied with how I managed the trade, but it's just something I got to work on going forward. So yeah, banger day today. I know a lot of people took shorts. I know a lot of people actually wanted to see this, whatever wick high this is. I wasn't super concerned about it. I trade strictly just off where price action is moving, and support and resistance levels, and then obviously if there's any sort of pre-market trend that could potentially either hold or break during market open. So that's exactly what happened this morning, and I was lucky enough to get an entry. So you guys can see just the executions. But yeah, no, super simple trade. But we're gonna be back at it tomorrow. So on to the next one, bruh.